Hey guys, we are back for Empire. This is season 6. I don't remember. It'll be in the description. I thought this was like the winter finale, but I guess not because they said they're going to be back in 2 weeks. Also, before I forget, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share my videos. All right, y'all, let's get to this. So, it starts off with David Banner, aka Philly Streets, talking to White Tracy, and she playing this song and all that, and trying to get him all hyped up or whatnot, and see and tell him, oh, that was Shine talking about, robbing you and whatnot with as well as what's the name? Lucius, because Lucius went by the name of like Philly. Some I forgot what the name he went by, and I was like, oh, indicating Lucius. He didn't outright say Lucius, but it was a name that Lucius went by back in the day or whatever. Then he like, what makes you think that I'm gonna believe this, and makes you think that I think that that's Lucius who did this and blah blah blah. She's like, he did and blah blah blah. Then she's like, come on. He was like, you know what? Save your white tears for somebody else. Don't be trying to set me up or whatnot. Um, if you got a bone to pick, he was like, I see what it is. Keep your friends close to your enemies closer type BS. If you got a vendetta against Lucius, you need to do it for yourself. A lot didn't happen this episode, y'all. So I don't know how long this gonna be, but maybe I'm long winded. We'll see. So from there, the ASA Awards are nominating Lucius for a lifetime achievement. And, he's sitting there and they're playing, oh, Lucius, he was so great. His career was blah, blah, blah. Then Andre, like, no, he goes to Andre and he was like, oh, you think I'm not on to you? Like, I thought we said that we were gonna try to run this together, but now it seems like I'm being put out to pasture because I know you're the one behind this lifetime achievement award. Don't, bullshit or bullshit. I know it was your ass. And he was like, Pops, Scout's honor. I'm like, really, Scout's honor? I didn't have nothing to do with this. I was like, nigga, you sound even more incriminating talking about some Scout's honor. Like, for real? Okay. So from there, sorry if the lighting is a little dark. I couldn't find my other light. But anyway, from there we see Tiana in the studio singing whatever song she's singing. It's just they all sound the same to me, y'all. They really do. Like her and whatever. From there, she in the studio at Bossy Media, and Becky is sitting there telling the engineer to change something on the music and all that. And then Cookie walks in. She was like, "No, don't change that. If anything, change up Tiana's vocals, and then she'll sound like this." And then, Becky's like, "You always had the Midas touch or whatever." Blah blah blah. So then she goes and talks to Cookie to the side and tells her about Bossy Media's financial woes and asks her, would she be interested in being a silent partner? Cookie says silent. Like, why would you even think that Cookie was going to be silent about any motherfucking thing? She's like, if y'all need some money and y'all need some cash or something, then maybe you should go to a distributor because I ain't going to be no silent partner if I come in with y'all. No. So then she just walk away. From there, we see Andre was talking to whoever is running the Aces or whatnot and saying, look, oh, thank you for doing me that solid of getting, Pops that achievement award. I'll have the rest of your money in your account or something, or whatever. And then good old brother Kingsley, the ghost of Kingsley, pops up, or just Andre's insanity pops up, and he was like, you think that this is gonna really shut your Pops up? You see how he or shut Pops up. You see how he just threatened you when you said that when he found out you did the award and all that. Like, he said he wasn't going down like that. If anything, he's going to be getting going harder. He's just getting started and all that. Like, okay, so Andre is just, I don't know. He was like, Kingsley was like, you need a more permanent solution to this problem as far as your Pops to get him fully out without him jumping back in and taking reins from you. So he was like, well, let's go through Patel. And then he was like, just get invite Patel to dinner and let me do the rest. And and then they mentioned something about the Me Too movement or something. I was like, are y'all gonna set him up for like on some sexual assault charges? So I was confused by that part. Then at on set with Hakeem, jamming and playing Little Lucius, and then the other little big head girl playing Cookie. They going over the lines in the scene of a particular scene, and Hakeem like hell no, cause the girl Cookie was like, oh Lucius, this sounds so good. I knew that you was gonna be destined for greatness. That's a hit. Blah blah blah. I'm like, he was like, stop, cut. My mama do not sound like that. She would not just bow down and be like that with my dad. She always gave him flack. I'm like, she sure do what she got. She if nothing, no for nothing else, she got all that mouth. And then he was like, I'm not filming no more until y'all fix this motherfucking script. What happens to the script that I um, you know, made the changes on? And they were like, oh, well, your father wanted, this and this. This is the way he wrote it. He was like, nah. So he's like, I'm not doing it. And then it was like, well, we need to keep going because it's production and shit. Your time is money. You got to pay everybody who be on that motherfucking set. So he's like, no, I'm not filming nothing. So he just starts having this temper tantrum. I'm like, ain't you like grown as hell with like 3 kids, and he's sitting there trying to throw stuff out, unplug the Casio sound maker's music machine thing. And I'm like, really? So from there, it cuts off. And oh wait. So never mind. Then it goes to Lucius gets a text from his little sugar, and Damon Cross's daughter, and I guess about meeting up with him or something later. And he is listening to an artist that Philly Streets is producing, and he rapping and bopping up in the studio, spitting in bars and all that. And Lucius walks up on him. He's like telling him it's good or whatever. And then Lucius sits down and he hands him some lyrics, and he was like, what's this? Lucius is saying, what's this? He was like, that's one of Sean's old lyrics or whatnot from old whatever. And he was like, what? And then he was like, yeah. He's like, where'd you get these? And he was like, from White Tracy. And he was like, oh, and he was like, she said that you and Sean was behind it. And then so Lucius come up with this whole lie about how Shine or Bunk owed Shine some money or some shit, and it's something about owing some money, and tried to put it off on Bunk and all that, Cookie cousin that Lucius killed, saying that had to do with them, and Lucius didn't have nothing to do with it or some shit, the way he tried to explain it. And then Dave Banner, Philly Streets was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, I'm just explaining. He's like, I'm a grown man and I ain't got to explain myself to nobody. But if I'm telling you this because I consider you a friend. I'm like, shut the fuck up, Lucius. This man wanted to know, did you rob him back in the day, or did you plan to rob him back in the day, or no? Okay. But anyway, so from there, oh, and then Lucius was like, I only have you here for one reason and one reason only, and that's because you making these hits. Don't stop doing those, and we all good. And it was just like, he like, all right. So from there, we see Andre and Terry, and they trying out little wedding cakes, got like this little dude that making all these cakes up and having them try in their home, which is nice. They got to go out for that. And he was explaining it how it was like the cake with lemon and lavender or elderflower, whatever. And Terry, the dude walked away, and Terry was like, who was that girl that was young girl who was in your office? He was like, oh, he's like, what young girl? He's like, she's like, who was it? He was like, oh, it just had something to do. I'm cleaning up some of Lucia's mess. And she's like, oh, he was like, you wouldn't think that I'm like, not, you were something or whatever like that. It's nothing like that. It just had to do with Lucia's. And she was like, but in our home, that's what I said last season. I was like, why are you doing this shit in my house where my child is? Are you serious? But anyway, so she's like, oh, okay. And then she just kind of lets it go. And then Andre, she walks away or whatever. And then Kingsley pops in and talking to Andre, and He's talking about some, oh, Terry's onto us. She's not gonna be a problem, is she? I'm like, damn, Andre, you that crazy? You about to kill your wife, this woman who fought and rode for your old dirty fucking draw self. I don't care how fine you is, Andre. You just crazy. I swear you're just crazy. Calm down. Is he on medication or not? Because why is his I know this man, Kingsley's heart, is just not doing all of this. Like, I just, whatever. I don't know. You never know what kind of stuff you get from transplants, but they whole personality and soul is in you and all that. It's ridiculous. So all the family, because Hakeem had text Andre and he text Lucius and Cookie that it was an emergency and to come on set right now. Hakeem did. Hold on. From there, he complained about the script and whatnot, and the whole family, they arguing, going back and forth, and Cookie was like, I read that shit too. I would never say no shit. That's the girl that's supposed to be playing me. She looked too soft, and I would never say half the shit that's in this goddamn script, Lucius. What is going on? So he like then Andre, he just kind of was like, had enough. He was like, look, if y'all don't like the script and y'all don't want to do it, then y'all go write it. Cookie and Lucius he's referring to, because I ain't got time. Y'all go handle it, because we ain't doing nothing but wasting time and money, because we got to pay all these people who own this set, whether or not we filming or not. So we bleeding money on this damn movie. So y'all need to go fix this. So from there, I guess Lucius get and then so I guess Lucius ain't gonna make to his little sugar baby. We don't see her this whole episode. I thought that she was gonna walk on set or something, but none of that happens. So from there, at Boston Media, Giselle and Becky are meeting up with these two white dudes, and they talking about becoming, partners, not really partners, because they talking about they was gonna get them 7% each of stakes in the company, and then they talking about we'll have this other dude, and he was eyeing Giselle's office, talking about the room lighting and everything. And then they was like, yeah, he gonna be the overseer. And they was like, overseer? For one, you white, don't be talking about some overseeing anything with black folks like that. I don't think so, homie. And then he's like, oh, that must be a poor choice of words. And they was like, we don't know about this because this is a lot, and we put our blood, sweat, and tears into this company to just come in and let y'all get leave us with only 14%. I don't know. And then he was like, look, I know y'all is up to y'all edges in debt. Otherwise, y'all wouldn't be coming to us, because they had to look over their books anyway and everything. It's like, y'all got 24 hours to decide whether or not you want to play ball with us or not. And I'm like, ugh, funky. Did they come to y'all? Like, what the fuck? So I was like, girl, nah, leave their ass alone. Do not go with these white people. Don't trust them. They already talking about overseeing and all this other stuff, taking people offices. No, don't do it. It's Bossy Media. It's a woman-owned company, black woman-owned company. Don't let them come up in there, okay? But anyway, and it was all like already saying a little racial, like they was going to be just sitting here just busting out stereotypes they think they know about black women or people. Bye. Done. But anyway, that was just me. I'm sorry, y'all. But so Cookie and Lucius are on set, and they talking about the script, and then they having a flashback. Cookie explains to how the scene that Hakeem and old girl, where they was going over in the how it really went. So it turns out when Lucius picked out his first song that was going to be a single, Cookie was actually pregnant. The boys were around or in the other room coloring, and they was listening to the song, and they was talking about how they had to get this money up for $5,000 so they can get distributed. And then they was trying to think of what name that they could call the company. Lucius talking about some Dominion, because he want to have Dominion. They got Dominion from God and all this other stuff. That sounds weird. I was like, that's not it. And then he was talking about he was going out with Bump to go do a drug deal or something with the Colombians or whatnot. And then Cookie warned him. She was like, who you going? Because he was supposed to be going with Buck and whatnot. She was like, you need to be careful of them Colombians. They be too flashy. You need to watch out for them and blah, blah. And tell Buck that this and this and keep his head on straight. He was like, I got this, and bring home some food. So then he leave, take his Glock and the money and go off to go do this drug deal. So, Oh wait, sorry y'all. Let me jump it back. At first, they get into an argument as usual in present day, Cookie and Lucius, because she was like, "I'm not gonna be sitting here letting you use my likeness and all this." And like, did you drop a contract for me and everything for this movie? He was like, "No." She's like, "So you can't use me? Just write me out the damn movie then, because this some bullshit and this is not how I would be. And if you ain't gonna put the real me in it, then I don't want me in the movie at all." So then she jumped, had a little hissy fit. Then he goes talks to the director, talking about some, let's just write her out there. And he was like, "We can't write Cookie out the damn movie. She like not putting the music in the movie. Everybody know about y'all and how y'all came together and all that." I was like, low key, that reminded me, not to the such a full extent, about the whole Straight Outta Compton movie, how they just wrote out, Michelle. And I mean, it wasn't as deep, but it's like, damn, where wasn't she around this whole time? But people pick and choose what they want in their biopic. History is always told by the winners, okay? The people who are higher and they got more money and they can tell whatever story they want to tell because they got the money to do so. And that was a perfect depiction of that happening. Anyway, so in order to get, then she storms off in order to get Cookie back and start doing the script and writing or whatever with him. He busts out, start playing this song, some of his old music on a boombox, and then she get all like, he's like, "You remember this song, boo," or whatever, and then she come back and they start writing, and then it goes back to her telling the story about how they chose Empire. But from there, I'll get back to that. Sorry, y'all, if I'm a little turned around. So from there, we see Bossy Media, and they talking about what they gonna do because they don't want to sell the company or whatnot. Meanwhile, I really like what Giselle had on. She had on like this shiny, like metallic-y, like pink. It looked really cute, and that blonde wig was popping. And she had on like some fuchsia pants. They was cute. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but that was cute. Anyway, then we go back to Andre at the house with Terry and Patel, and he promised, he starts talking to Patel about selling more stocks in the Empire. He shows him the books and how Empire's making so much money. He's like, "Would you be interested in selling?" He was like, "Nah, Empire's making more money than ever." He's like, "Actually, it's making more money than when your father was doing it. So now I ain't trying to sell." Then he showed him this little portfolio about like if he sold him a certain amount of shares or whatnot, giving Andre the controlling role of Empire, but Patel would still be making more money even than he is now. So Patel's about his paper. So if these books are correct or whatnot, which I'm sure Patel is smart, so he looked over them. I mean, I don't know. I guess they were legit because I don't know if he was trying to swindle him or what, kind of, or if he legitly will be making more money. But he about them numbers, so he agreed to it or whatnot. So from there, oh yeah, and then Patel mentions like, "Oh, good job on you signing Prophet and all this and the whole Divine thing, Mario signing him and all that." So, and Terry, she kind of cussed her out like, "Signing Prophet, when did you do that?" Because the last time Terry was in the mix looking at Andre and his business, prophetic, whatever, that one dude from last episode, he didn't want nothing to do with Empire, and he was like, "Fuck y'all." And then, but Andre cleaned up that whole underage girl mess for him, which was just not an actress that Andre hired or whatever. But anyway, then it cuts off that. But Terry's antennas all of a sudden are very aware this episode. Now they are like, "Girl, you ain't know this nigga been crazy." Okay, like anyway, whatever. Terry, you want to jump in and notice shit now? Okay. So from there, it jumps into Cookie telling the story about the Colombians and how she found out like Bunk called her. This is the flashback of Cookie and Lucius, and she's telling him the story, and Lucius is writing it down, and they on set or whatever. So it's back to that part. So she was telling Lucius about the story. She was like, "No," because Lucius was like, "No, I left out with Bunk. Like Bunk was not at our house. Bunk was supposed to meet up with Bunk." But then it turns out Bunk called him the house. And then she's like, Bunk, where you at? Ain't you supposed to be with Lucius? Turns out Bunk was in New York, and they live in Philly at this time. And she's like, oh my God. So she leave the kids in the house alone. And she's like, y'all, be safe, don't do nothing. Cause she know that Lucius is about to enter a whole drug deal thing without any backup. So she's like, oh, she wanted to make sure that he was okay. I'm like, girl, you need to make sure he okay. He is a grown, able-bodied man. You are a pregnant, very pregnant. She's like, she's about to pop like at least 7-8 months, and you running behind this man. Okay. So she run behind and try to make sure that he has some backup. So, and the thing that Lucius did not know about the Colombians or what was going on is they were being watched by the police, was taking them out. So it's good that she did go. So what Cookie ended up doing, she ended up pretending like distracting the cops, telling them like, oh, I'm going in labor. Somebody help me, please. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh. So she distracts the cops in good enough time for the drug deal and Lucius to get out of there and get stuff done. And then she had to fake and go to the hospital. They don't show that, but that's what we are told that happens and whatnot. And then it shows Cookie and Lucius up in the car after the whole coming from the hospital thing. And she was like, I had to come in there, I had to have your back, I'm ride or die. I'm like, girl, you stupid and stupider. Like, don't be sitting there. If it's a drug deal with guns and stuff, I'm not going to jeopardize my life or my child's life. Lucius got locked up. You should let's get locked up. Would he have done 17 years for you? I don't think so, girl. I don't think so. But anyway, and he was all light skinned and pretty boy looking. They would have had a field day. Because he wasn't as hard as he is now. He wasn't that hard then. Okay. From there, he was like, yeah, we gonna run. We the king and queen of West Philly or something. She's like, just Philly? I'm trying to be like worldwide known and all that. You think it's too small, Lucius? And he was like, that's right. We gotta build us an empire. And then that's where the word, this label name came from or whatever. So, well, that's the origin story of that. Then it jumps back to Andre and Terry. They eat breakfast. Andre made some omelets and stuff. And then she asked him, like, oh, they're toasting, like, to a new empire and better empire under Andre's rule. And she was like, I was just wondering, how did you sign prophetic or whatnot? And he was like, what he say? He got a whole attitude. Let me think. Let me see if I wrote down what he said. Oh, he was like, well, maybe you should stop wondering. And I'm like, because he like snapped at her and that crazy popped out in his eye. And Terry wasn't ready. She was like, oh. And then look, Walker Lucius started crying. So he gets up and goes to check on the baby. And as he going to check on the baby, in his mind, Kingsley is holding the baby. He's like, what are you doing with him? Put him down. And he was like, now that I made this deal with Patel, I won't need you anymore. I got everything I need. And Lucius can't take over because I got the stakes and all this. And he's like, are you so sure? You may have defeated this one thing, but you're going to always need me, baby brother, and all this. And I'm here to stay and all this other stuff. And Andre crazy as hell. But anyway, back at movie production, they didn't finish writing their little scene, and they got stuff out the way and got the new pages. Everybody agrees on them, and then Lucius and Cookie walk off to the side, and he was like, she was like, so why you was gonna try to write me out the script, Lucius, or whatnot? He was like, because like when all that stuff happened with you and Damon Cross and the way things were going, I thought you were just like, you hurt me. She's like, why you always trying to hurt me, Jody? No, but yeah, so she's just like, he's like, I just wanted to hurt you because, I guess you hurt people, whatever. And then he was like, but when he's like, the way I love all the memories, you can't just be walking away from that. I'm like, why are you trying to reminisce and stuff? Like you ain't fucking Damon Cross' daughter, like, or planning to. As soon as you go walk away from this, and he's trying to get all close and cute up with Cookie, and I'm like, y'all is done, boy. And then he was like, just don't tell me that it's over. I know it's not over. That's the kind of love that we had. He always tries to hold on that. Sometimes the past is the past. And if you love somebody, you will let them go. Like for real, let them go. Let that woman go be happy somewhere else. And she didn't even know how to let herself be happy because she just kept letting him back in. That's her baby father. But them boys is grown and crazy. So let it go, girl. Let it go. And then finally she was like, you know what, Lucius, you know, I love you and I will always love you, but I just can't let go of that hurt. It's just still there. And I just can't get past it. And then she pulls out, you know, a manila envelope and hands it to him. It's some divorce papers. And he like look like he about to go cry and stuff. And then she walk off and go get in the car and leave. So from there, Damon Cross walks up into some Chinese restaurant. I'm like, where he going to get some food? Like, I thought he was going to meet with his daughter or something, but I'm like, he wouldn't take her to no cheap Chinese restaurant. Or maybe a safe spot. But it turns out he was meeting with Giselle. Giselle made him the proposition similar to the one that Becky made to Cookie about being a silent partner. And he was like, oh, okay, so I'm not really down for that. But then she's like, oh, come on, this and this. And he was like, well, I could, you know, my clients are always looking for another laundromat, referring to money laundering because that's what he will be doing through Bossy Media. I'm like, you already getting this fucking place crooked? Already getting it crooked, Giselle? Like, dang. Like, what in the power is going on? Now y'all going that route? Okay, whatever. So from there, he agrees and he was like, okay. So now Damon Cross is a silent partner of Bossy Media. Now it's all crooked and stuff, y'all, but whatever. Back to Philly Streets. He listening to that song, looking all hard and like, oh, did they rob me? I don't know. Like he's looking all hard and stuff. And I'm like, look at your constipated face, butt out of here. And then it jumps over to Terry. She walks up to that white girl house. I don't know what she found out how she lived, how she found out where she lived. But she was like, you were at my house the other day talking to my husband. She was like, I don't know. Andre Lunch, like, I don't even know who that is. Try to close the door on her. She was like, wait, he paid you? I'm willing to pay you double if you tell me what you was in my house doing. You know, the girl already took money. She's making even more money. So, bow, she getting paid double. That's, hey, whatever. Stop lying, Andre. But anyway, again, back at Bossy Media, we see the distributors, because it's been 24 hours since they gave Giselle and Becky 24 hours to make a decision as far as their proposition for taking majority stakes in their company. But you know, but then they were like, look, we got a flourish of cash, so we only because Damon Cross only agreed to half of the amount that Giselle asked for, and he was like, all right, wait, no, yeah, he only agreed to give her half because he was like, if y'all you make the money that I think y'all gonna make, then I'll invest more. But as of right now, I'm only gonna give you half, and then you're gonna have to make fetch happen with the rest. So with the distributors, they were like, oh, it turns out that I had like some other funds that I was able to get a hold of. So now, since we have such a considerable amount, we only need half of what we asked you for and whatnot. So do you want to still make this deal or not? They was like, no, what do you mean you won't? Where did you get all this money from? I'm like, why it ain't show money? What the fuck you asking me for? Like, I can't stand when people be, so that just remind me of like when people, you trying to get a refund at the store or something, and people be like giving you an attitude, or if you owe a bill collector and a bill collector act like you owe them personally, like, why do you want to know about my funds? I don't owe you personally, so stay out my pockets. Anyway, from there, they was going on back and forth about the percentages and how they still want this much percentage. And then Cookie bring her loud ass in there, and she was like, you know what? She's going to be their partner, but you know, her ass ain't gonna be silent. So she's like, y'all get y'all dusty asses up and get on up out of our office. Peace. So now here goes the Cookie and Damon Cross thing again, because I'm sure she's going to be very upset once she find out who is the other partner in Bossy Media with Giselle and Becky. So we'll see how that goes. Then we see Lucius sitting there crying in his office or wherever he at and looking at the divorce papers and stuff or whatever. So it's like, okay, Lucius, calm down. And what else? Philly Streets is still within Empire, walking down the hall, he calls White Tracy, and he was like, "You were right," or whatever. It was Lucius who robbed me and all that back in the day. And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then he hang up. I'm like, "Okay, what was all that?" I guess that was more so for the audience and not really for whatever. So then he goes up into the elevator with a gun and is on his way up to Lucius's office, I believe, and then it all goes off. So y'all, it wasn't that really eventful of an episode. They'll be back in 2 weeks. It looks kind of weird. I don't even know if it's a real episode or if it's a filler episode for next week. But they were talking about some of the last 2 minutes that were going to be really good. So maybe it is a real episode. It just looked kind of like Christmassy, Ghosts of Christmas, this and all that. But it's probably a regular episode, but it looked like a filler from the commercial. So though. Yeah, y'all. That's it. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see y'all for Empire in 2 weeks, but you can catch your girl all the time on my channel. My new channel is coming soon. I don't know, probably late December or at the beginning of the year. It's going to be a lot more adult grown content because YouTube has all these rules and regulations coming up. I want to be able to speak freely, and I also want to keep my little more wholesome. Not that my page right now is so wholesome and great, like whatever, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to discuss what I want to discuss, no filter. And if you're into that, go ahead and subscribe to my new channel. It's called Beautiful Gorgeous. And I mean, there's nothing up there yet, but it's coming soon, y'all. And I will be letting y'all know when that's going to be coming out. And that's it. That's all, y'all. Love you, love you, love you. Have a good evening, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Bye.